You are watching Versus Omnis. And we're going to go right into the battles. The team that I'm rocking today is Shiny Gyarados in the lead, still the same as my last video, but I decided to bring Venusaur and a Hundo best buddy Drapion. So starting off with a battle with Alolan Muck, which is not great for Venusaur, so I just farm up enough where I've got some Frenzy Plants loaded, then switch to Gyarados to see what he's going to do. He decides he's going to stay in at this point. At first, I was contemplating building to Outrage, but at the pace that these were coming, I did not think that that was going to work out right. So I decided I'm just going to launch some Aqua Tails and see how much I can soften him up, because I could end up finishing him off with one of the other Pokemon if I don't end up winning Switch. But the way it plays out, I'm still able to launch a lot of Aqua Tails into him and start pressuring shields if he wants to win Switch. So then I get a shield with an Aqua Tail and I'm able to Dragon Breath him down anyway. So that was amazing. Then he switches into Venusaur. I'm thinking that I want to build to the Outrage or force him to throw energy, one of the two. And so he does throw energy, which is great. So I come in with Drapion, which is a great matchup for him. And he switches out, but then ends up catching the Sludge Bomb on the Machamp anyway, which is awful for him. And then I just switch right back into Venusaur, who basically has 2 Frenzy Plants ready to go. So boom, there, I got the second shield, but I've already got another Frenzy Plant loaded and ready to go. So I just go ahead and throw it at the Machamp. I don't need to take a Rock Slide. And now at that point, he's got a Venusaur that has less health left than my Venusaur, and I have almost a full Drapion. So he goes ahead and exits out of that one. I can respect that. So, all right, but so far, liking Drapion, but he's not the easiest to play in Ultra League. So again, this is Ultra League Premier Cup. So still leading with Venusaur. This time my opponent comes in with Lapras, which is a great bulky lead for Premier Cup. I'm going to stay in with this one. I'm going to start throwing Frenzy Plants basically right away. I just want to like put the pressure on. And if he's going to go for Skull Bash, I want to get as much damage as I can beforehand. So again, I think there's a reasonable chance that he's going to throw a Skull Bash, but he just throws Surf, but I couldn't really risk it. I want to try to stay ahead and win Switch in this particular case. So toss another Frenzy Plant, get another shield. At this point, I'm thinking, man, either he just really feels like he needs to win Switch, or there's something in the back that's potentially very weak to Venusaur. So I'm like, well, let's just stay in. If he wants to go double shield, I'll go double shield, and let's see how this plays out. So end up getting Switch. He comes in with Togekiss. I'm wondering if I can get to the Sludge Bomb. I cannot. That's okay. I've softened up the Togekiss a little bit. And I think that I can get the Drapion to a Sludge Bomb before I'm going to lose the Drapion. So he does get to a move first, but I don't think he's going to throw something that's capable of knocking me out. It's just an Ancient Power, not a big deal. Now I get to throw a Sludge Bomb into his face. So that's fantastic, and that's going to take most of its health. And at this point, I'm thinking I don't want to end up losing the Drapion completely, so I come in with the Gyarados, just farm down the last little bit of health, so I come into the next match loaded, which ends up working out to my favor, because then I get an Outrage on his Grass type, which is otherwise going to probably put some pressure on Gyarados. So I'm able to put a lot of damage in, and he's trying to build up, but I think he realizes he's going to lose to Dragon Breath first, and so he decides to go ahead and throw. Now he's got basically a sliver of health left, and I can come in, throw an Aqua Tail right away, and that's going to close things out. So, ooh, that was a particularly close one. That one easily could have gotten out of my hands, but happy 2-0 in this particular set so far. I don't see any need to change things up. Going to go ahead and keep going. All right, E. Jones 141. Okay, still leading Venusaur. He comes in with Empoleon. Obviously, Empoleon does not like taking the grass to the face, but also has that Drill Peck. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup. I'm going to go ahead and stay in. I'm just going to start launching Frenzy Plants right away. He takes it, which kind of surprises me. So what I'm thinking here is I might try to actually farm him down. And so I shield the first Drill Peck, and now I'm just going to go ahead and just see if I can get him all the way down. He does get to the Drill Peck like with a sliver of health left. So now I am down 2 shields, but I've got a really heavily loaded Venusaur. He comes in with Charizard right away. So this actually kind of works out because that health that I saved works, and I'm going to drop 2 Sludge Bombs right into the Charizard. And I think he did not expect quite that much to be coming in. So I got a shield on the first one, got a bunch of health on the second one. I'm going to go ahead and stay in. I don't want to give up switch. I know I don't have any shields, but I've just got a deal. So he switches out right away into the Tangrowth, which is perfect because then that's going to lock him in with Tangrowth versus the Drapion, which is fantastic for me. He takes super effective from the infestation, and he's going to have to take a Sludge Bomb. I am going to take another Rock Slide here. Little lag, but you know, it happens. Okay, so Rock Slide, not a big deal. Go ahead, drop the Sludge Bomb. This is going to be super effective, so the Tangrowth, if he survives, will not have much health, but gets him all the way. Charizard comes in. He does not want to take a move. He knows that I ended up over farming a little, so he throws the Dragon Claw right away, but then Gyarados gets to come in, already has an Aqua Tail loaded. I believe he still has a shield, though, which he uses. Now just the question of, is he going to be able to take down a full health Gyarados? He does get a Dragon Claw here, but that is definitely not going to be enough, and I don't even have to build to the next Aqua Tail. I'm able to Dragon Breath him down. So, man, cool matchup. I mean, Charizard has definitely worried me. It's kind of why I like having the Venusaur in the front in this particular team, because I don't like to get trapped into a Charizard in the back, which I've been coming up against a lot, actually. So... okay, still leading with Venusaur. Now it's Ampharos, which is not a great Pokemon for either of my... so I do a slow switch here, and I was really not expecting him to switch out right away. And so he brings into the Shadow Dragonite, and I really wish that I had switched into Gyarados sooner. But I decided I'm just going to, like, Dragon Breath him down. He throws a move. I'm willing to shield here. So I finish off the Dragonite. Now, what does he come in with at this point? I'm expecting the Ampharos, but for some reason I think he comes in with something else. And he comes in with Empoleon, which really surprised me. I think it was because he wanted to use the Empoleon as much as possible, knowing that he was going to have to deal with the Venusaur. So I'm just going for chip damage, just put a couple of Aqua Tails in. I know they're not going to be anything super, but I just figured soften them up. Okay, here I still think the best matchup is come in with Venusaur. He immediately already has a Drill Peck ready. I have a Frenzy Plant ready. So this is going to get ugly real quick. I think I'm still going to end up losing the Venusaur in this matchup because he had shield advantage, even though we both had built up a fair amount of energy. I do get to the second Frenzy Plant before him, but the way things look, I don't think I can survive another Drill Peck, and I can't switch yet. So that's going to be rough. This is one where I wish that I had Crunch on Gyarados, because I think if I'd been able to drop 2 Crunches into him instead of 2 Aqua Tails, that probably would have finished him off. And so then that would have given me a pretty big advantage in this matchup. So after this one, I'm starting to consider if I play this team more, I may switch the Outrage to Crunch, because I didn't actually end up using Outrage that much this time around. Now, he does not have any shields, but I do not think I'm going to be able to come out on top of this. He just has too much health on the Ampharos, and now he gets the last charge move. So it was good. I think if, like I said, I think if Gyarados had Crunch, that would have been a better matchup for me. But I also switched really slow on that Dragonite. So either one of those mistakes could have been the reason that cost me that game. So, all right. So 3-1. Want to close out this set nicely. Not going to try to say that trainer's name. Leads with Machamp. This is pretty good for Venusaur. He can throw Rock Slides, which won't do super effective, but he lets me build up some power. Then he switches to Muck. Now I'm going to switch over to Gyarados. Again, this is kind of a pretty neutral matchup for both of us, but the Dragon Breath is going to add up quick. So I go ahead and take 1 to the face because Snarl isn't going to do a ton of damage. Now I'm going to shield the second one. And here I'm trying to figure out, do I want to build up to the Outrage? But I let him get a little bit too much power while I was farming with Venusaur, so I think he's going to shield. So I just throw an Aqua Tail. I do get the shield. And now I start thinking I'm going to build up to another one. I am willing to double shield in this because I think if I maintain switch, this is going to be a win. And I think he's probably going to shield again, so I just throw an Aqua Tail anyway. And he's only got 1 shield. And what happens? He does throw the second shield, but now I'm already at another Aqua Tail. So now I'm like, oh, either I'm going to take switch or I'm going to be able to farm him down. But then he switches to Gyarados pretty aggressively, which surprised me. But now he's locked into Gyarados versus Venusaur, and I'm loaded. So at this point, I don't think Gyarados is going to be able to accomplish a whole lot. I'm willing to take a charge move here because I'd like to build up to having a Sludge Bomb ready for the Machamp in the back. I go ahead and commit to farming him all the way down. And now Machamp comes in, or sorry, the Muck comes in. I was expecting the Machamp, but I forgot that he could preserve some health there. So I just throw one Frenzy Plant, and then I throw one Sludge Bomb at the Machamp. So now that's most of the health gone off the Machamp. I switch into Drapion right away. Here, I panicked a little bit. I'm always like, I've been playing against Shadow Machamp enough that I was really scared about him getting to a charge move at all, so I just threw the Aqua Tail, and I should have just saved and gone for the Sludge Bomb. It was only going to be a few more moves, and then I would have just taken him out in one hit. Now, things get really close because he gets to a second charge move before I get to the second Aqua Tail. So that ended up being really close. I definitely should have just hit the Sludge Bomb, but I still had some health preserved on the Venusaur, so it's possible that I win that either way, even if he was able to take out the Drapion. But something to keep in mind for the future. But overall, cool team. I do want to experiment with Drapion a bit more. Good 4-in-1 set. I mean, really, Hundo best buddies about the best way to go for that particular Pokemon. But definitely enjoying Ultra League Premier. It's a weak spot for me. I mean, of all of the 5 potential possibilities, I'm still learning. So, all right, well, I think that wraps up this particular match. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of this content. I will have both Go battles and raids coming up. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you nerds in the next one. Peace.